What's up, junkies? We're here at ASA Metropolis, and welcome to another segment of the What's the Pro shooting, brought to you exclusively by Feather Vision Products. We're here standing with rookie senior pro Dwayne Price, rookie senior pro for even the NFAA now, as well as the IBO and the ASA. And tell the fans out there, let's kind of run through the setup of what you're shooting.
All right. Well, for the last couple of years, I've been shooting an MR7 or MR8. This particular weekend, I'm shooting an MR7. I got it at 62 pounds, shooting gold tip 30Xs, weighing 360 grains, so I'm rolling at about 294 feet per second. Okay. I'm still shooting my old trusty Chappie Boss, True Ball Chappie Boss. I've been shooting that pretty much exclusively all these years. It's just a release that I really like. It fits my hand really well. It's extremely dependable, and it's True Ball, you betcha. Like I said, it's just been my friend for so long, it's kind of hard to give up on one, you know. Yep. I'm shooting a XL Achieve sight. And been shooting that. That's a brand new model for this year. Loving it. It's working out really well for me. I'm shooting the Specialty Archery Pro XL scope. It's a little bit bigger. And what I do is I'm shooting a 10 thousandths fiber, blue fiber, up, and it is a lighted pin, which with the module that it has, it actually can take it from green, red, blue, violet. Really? Yeah, so I can do actually 7 colors with this particular setup, which is nice. So like if you're shooting, say, a billy goat for an IBO or something like that, and the blue's getting kind of washed out, you can throw on green, but preferably red or maybe a violet or something a little bit darker. Okay. And then that way you still got your point of reference, and it's real accurate, so that way you don't have those left and rights and so forth. Shooting a Specialty Super Peep with a 1/16 aperture.
What power lens do you got?
I have a 4 power in it right now. I played with a 6 power a little bit this year, but because of what you alluded to about being a senior pro, the old eyes change a little bit, you know. Okay. And the 6 power was working good, which is what I typically use for everything else, indoor, field, FIDA. 6 power has been my, you know, exclusive all these years, but for shooting 3D, because in these type of situations where, like today, got a little dark, lead off first on a black target, it's only 27, 29 yards. There's no arrows in the target. You got to know where you're going to hit. So with the 4 power, it backs it out a little bit. I can come up from the crease of the leg or whatever, and then I'm good to go. So that's why I shoot a 4 power with this. Stabilizer, I'm rolling with bee stingers, 30-inch on the front with about 5.5 ounces, a 12-inch bar on the back with 17 ounces. Like that setup, you know, for those guys out there that are looking to kind of ballpark it and how they start out, 4 to 1. 4 ounces on the back to 1 ounce on the front, and that will give you pretty good balance, and you'll be able to start really starting to hold good, and you'll see how things are starting to come together. But that's kind of the equation that you want to play with. Plus, for a lot of guys out there now, you're starting to run your rod a little bit on the lower side. And for all you Matthews shooters out there, there's a thing out there called the V-bar cap, which goes right in your quiver attachment hole. Currently, I do sell those, so that's a little prop for myself. But it works out really good because you can get that weight a little bit lower on your riser. You can have a little more adjustability with your side rod for in and out and up and down, so that you can get your bow to balance out properly, so that arrow impact is where it's going to be, and you're hitting behind the pin. Which is
okay. And if somebody's interested in one of those, where can they find those products?
Typically, we have everybody go through Lancaster Archery. Okay. Yep. They've been supporting us really well, and so we try to return the favor and have everybody just go through there. But if they can't get one there and you need one right away, they can contact me. Okay. So.
And then as far as the covers, the DP sleeves, why don't you talk about that real quick?
DP sleeves. Created that about 3.5 years ago. With all the traveling I do nationally and worldwide, I needed something to protect my stabilizers. You know, and you're spending $400 some for a set of rods for your bow. You want to make sure they're in good shape. They don't get all nicked up and dinked. Plus, you want to keep them so that when you put them in their case, they're not going to be bouncing around, and they're not going to be doing anything that's going to damage the bow, primarily the string. So what we do is we create DP sleeves. This is actually a scope cover. It's made actually out of neoprene material, and why I like that is because on those hot, humid days, a lot of guys will put a bag over it in case it's going to start raining. This still lets it breathe, so my scope doesn't fog up. But yet, if it rains, it keeps it dry. So it protects my sight tape, my scope, and everything, and just kind of gives me a little more self-assurance that it's going to be all right. Obviously, I'm running with factory Matthews strings, shooting a trophy taker rest with medium blade, number 10, and also I'm running with a shoot grip just because I like the way it fits in my hand. It gives me the proper angle of my wrist, so that way I don't have those heel shots where I shoot up and down, and plus it eliminates all left and rights the way I hold my bow. So that's why I use a shoot grip instead of a factory grip.
So we were at the IBO shoot a couple weeks ago up in Erie, and you shot the first day with one setup, and then you made a change for your second day. Tell us about that change and what you did with your setup and how that went.
Well, the first day was really dark, if you remember up there. You know, we shot early in the morning, you know, and it was real dark canopy, real heavy, dense woods, and I was concerned about being able to see properly. So what I did is I increased my peep to a 3/32 aperture, and I was just shooting a black ring on my scope. And I had a lot of shots that I shot good numbers, and I thought I was aiming correctly, but what the problem was is that I wasn't self-centering into the scope properly. So after we got done, about 15 targets in, I changed my aperture and went to a 1/16, which narrowed it up a little bit, so it made it darker, but I could square everything up properly so that I didn't have the lefts and the rights and the ups and downs. And so anyway, what I did is when I got back to the room that night, also I knew that because of the lighting conditions, I needed something that I could really verify that my scope was truly centered up with my peep. So I just went to the hardware store, I got some white paint, and I painted my ring on my scope housing, which is just like that, just so that you can see it. And then in that low light conditions, the one color that really stands out, obviously, and really dark is white. Right. Yeah, and so that's why I did that. And actually, I do that on most of my stuff, but for some reason, I just was having pretty good success with just the housing, and I elected not to do it. I guess I got a little lazy, and but after that first day, I ended up doing that, and I came back the next day, and I shot the highest score the second day of any senior pro that weekend. Okay. I shot 2 up, and so I went from actually 23rd place to tied for 5th. So it was a good adjustment, and you know, like everybody tells you, you got to have some kind of game plan when you go out there. You know what your goals are. Well, also you got to be realistic and honest with yourself, and know that when things ain't quite going right, you got to dissect it on the spot and make adjustments so that you can still stay in the game. So not trying to get yourself too deep in a hole. So it worked out good. I was pretty happy with that, and today I shot okay, and you know, I'm gonna shoot better tomorrow.
All right, well, we appreciate you taking the time and running through your setup, and good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and I'm glad you guys are putting this out there so everybody else can see what's going on.
All right, well, thanks, man.
You bet.